Today we will be making a cookie cutter. I've chosen a picture, this picture of a cat for us, but you can use any image. And feel free to experiment with different shapes and designs afterwards as well. Okay, today I have a file open and on Fusion 360, just a new blank design file. And on the left here I have the reference image that we're going to be using. It's this silhouette of a cat that I found off of Google. So I've named the file Cat Cookie Cutter and I've saved it, so now we can get started. First, as always, we're going to start with a sketch on this top face. This is going to be a reference as to how large our cookie cutter should be. So I'm going to go to the top left and use the rectangle tool and draw out a rough shape of a rectangle. Next I'm going to click the D for dimension tool, or you can click it at the top left, but I'm going to set this to 70 and I'll set the width to about 60. This will just serve as guidelines for us for how big our cookie cutter should be. You can choose any dimensions you want for this. So that's all for this sketch, so I'll finish sketch. And now I'm going to be showing you how to insert an image that we can reference while we model. So at the top right you'll notice there's an insert menu. And if we click this, we can go down and select canvas, which will allow us to put in an image. Now you'll have to remember the location of your image on your computer. I have mine on my desktop, so I'll go to Insert from my computer, and it's already open to my desktop, but you can search through your files, and I'll click the file and click Open. Now it's going to allow you to click a face where you could put the image in. You could click the orange plane, but I'm going to click the sketch just because we know we want it to be this size. So let's see how that looks. The cat looks a little bit small in my square right now, so I'm going to click at this corner and that's going to allow me to scale it up. So I'm going to do that until it pretty much fits the canvas. Let's see. This looks good to me, so I'm going to click OK. And now we're ready to get started. For the first step, we're going to try and make an outline of this cat in a sketch. So we'll click the sketch tool and we'll start a new sketch again on this plane. It doesn't really matter if you click the face or the plane, it should take you to this top view anyways. And you'll notice with our straight line tool it would be pretty hard to copy the exact shape of this very curvy cat. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Create section and you should be able to find the Spline tool. It's also the same one that's here, so you can click this, click Spline. And now to use this, we're going to start at any point we want, and I'll just start at the top of the cat for simplicity, but we're going to put a point and click down wherever the cat curves. So there's a curve here, so I'm going to click down, and there's a different curve here, so I'm going to click down. And here we see that the angle of the cat is changing a little bit again, so I'll click about here to change it. Maybe one here, and maybe one here. And you'll notice once you finish a single section, then you can click OK, and this will get your line. And you'll notice there's a lot of green dots, but to have the view be easier, we can always click Escape from the Spline tool. And now looking at this spline line, you'll notice that they're black dots, which you can still move, and when you click them once, you can also change the angle a little bit. So we'll be using this to copy the shape of the cat. You can always edit it, and what you basically want to do is replicate the silhouette of the cat or whatever image you have as best you can, and keep changing the angles in order to make it more accurate. You can do it in multiple lines or in one line if you'd like, and as a tip, if you realize you wanted to add or adjust a certain angle where you don't have a black point, you can click the line and you can two-finger click on the line and you'll be able to insert a spline fit point. So that will just allow you to pick anywhere. So I just clicked here on the line and then I'll do escape, and now we'll just be able to use this extra point. Since we don't need that, I'm going to undo, but this is a tip you can use to follow your silhouette. Now that we know how to use the spline tool, I'm going to continue on and just finish outlining the silhouette of the cat. Notice at sharp corners you may want to stop the spline once and restart so you can get that corner to be perfectly sharp. Otherwise, on curved sections you should be able to just chain the line. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the shape so far, and just as a check, what we can do is we can open up this browser menu and we can look at canvases and we can toggle it off just to check that your shape looks good. So this looks pretty good to me. It's totally up to you how you do it, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as the shape is closed, that should be fine. So I'm going to toggle off this image. We'll no longer need it anymore. And now that I have this shape, I'm going to use a tool called the offset tool to make an outline. So we'll select the offset tool and we're going to select our silhouette, and you'll notice it can go in or outwards. I'm going to do outwards, and for cookie cutters what we want to do is to get a sharp edge, but we also have to work within the constraints of a printer if you're going to print this, so of a 3D printer. So what I've found is that 1.2 is a pretty good size. So I'm going to do 1.2, but that made it go inwards, so I'm going to do minus 1.2 to make it outwards. And this should create a good line for me. You can also flip the direction using this flip button. Now click OK. And there we have it. We have a 1.2 millimeter outline. So this looks pretty good to me, so I'm going to finish sketch. And now all we can do is extrude. Just because I noticed this other rectangle face is also toggled on, I'm going to go into the sketches and make it invisible. This will just make it easier for me to see. I think I might have an extra blank sketch, but that's okay. You might not have that. So now I'm going to click the extrude tool, and we're going to try to select this face in between the two lines. Perfect. Now, as a general rule, I usually try to do about 2 centimeters. I think it's a good amount to have the cookie cutter be, but it's totally up to you. And I'm gonna click OK. So that's perfect. We have the base of our cookie cutter. As an extra step, what I want to do is create a little border around it so you could press your palm into it and it'll be easier to use. So to do that, we're going to create a sketch, and we're going to draw on the very top face. And at this point, we're going to do something similar, where we're going to want to create an offset of this outer edge. So sometimes it's hard to create an offset of many lines. So let's just try this. We'll click one line and then double click to select the whole thing. And we'll click the offset tool. In this case, it looks like it worked, but if it didn't, you could also use the project tool to get these lines specifically into the sketch. Now, I want my border to be 1 millimeter, so I'm going to keep it like this, but it's also totally up to you. I'm going to click OK. And I know that I want my border to reach all the way up to this line also, so now I'm going to project the inner silhouette. To do that, I'm going to click any line on the inner side, double click it to select all of them, and then I'm going to click P on my keyboard for project. You'll notice even though I selected it, it seems like the project tool deselected all of them for me, so it's alright, I'll just go in and reselect them manually. Depending on how many lines you made, that might take a little bit long, but it should be okay. So I'll click OK. And now we can finish the sketch. What I'm going to do finally is to extrude this face, this new face, and also the old one, so you want to select these two. And changing my view to the side, I'm going to do -3, but instead of doing a cut operation, I'm going to do a join. So that should give us a nice border of about, 3 millimeters. So I'll click OK. And that looks good to me. Okay, as a final touch, I'm going to go ahead and round off any sharp corners using the fillet tool. The one I notice here is the ear of the cat, and also the inside part too. So I'm just going to go ahead and try one. One looks pretty good to me, so I'm going to do OK. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing using the fillet tool on any other similarly sharp edges that I see. So I see this corner. I think 1 should be good for this one too. Let's try 2. 2 is even better, so we'll use that. And yeah, you can go ahead and do this for your own sketch or your own body. It will change a little bit depending on how you made your sketch, but you can also just eyeball it and see what you like. This corner is pretty sharp, so I'll go ahead and do that too. 1 might be too great, so I'm going to go down and let's try 0.4. That's still a little bit big. I'll do 0.3. And there we go. We have our perfectly made custom cookie cutter.